Terence Crawford just beat Canelo Alvarez. Let's talk about it. Coming into this fight, I was favoring Terence Crawford, but I thought it would be very close. Crawford fought pretty much the perfect fight that he had to win this. The dude is number one pound for pound for a reason. Not gonna lie, I had him number 2 behind Usyk, but after tonight, number 1. Number 1 and number 2 pound for pound are 37 and 38 years old. The unks are showing out. Like I said in my previous video, this fight was probably gonna come down to what Terence Crawford did, because Canelo fought this fight pretty much like he does every other fight. The only thing he kinda improved on was cutting the ring off, something that he did not do in his last fight against the track star William Skull. He actually did cut the ring off very well in the first half of the fight, but Crawford had the footwork needed to get out of the corner and off the ropes. One thing that absolutely killed Canelo in this fight was his inactivity. In his last few fights, he hasn't really fought opponents that have made him pay for it very much. But Terence Crawford's a different beast, and boy oh boy did Bub make him pay for it. Because of the lower level of Canelo's last few opponents, I kinda forgot that the guy never throws combinations. Canelo would walk him down in his high guard, send one shot, and Bud would send back like 3 or 4. I think midway through the fight when Bud realized he could take Canelo's power, it was over. Canelo's a counterpuncher by nature, but Crawford's footwork was so good that he could get into range, throw a combination, but then be out of range before Canelo could counter. But later in the fight, I couldn't believe my eyes. Bud was standing in the pocket and trading with him and getting the better of him. This is the same guy that went to war with and got rocked by Yorkis Gamboa. That was like 10 years ago, but it still happened. It's confirmed Gamboa hits harder than Canelo. Viva Mexico, cabrones! The biggest question coming into this fight was, could Crawford deal with Canelo's power? And he dealt with it pretty well. There was the odd shot here and there that looked like it stung him, but for the most part, he was never in any real danger. In fact, it got to a point where he was so confident that Canelo couldn't hurt him that he was just standing in the pocket and catching and shooting and catching and shooting. His counterpunching was next level, and Canelo had no idea how to deal with it. There were points later in the fight where Canelo looked visibly frustrated. Shit, I would be too if I was getting lit up like that. And I noticed that similar to the Bivol fight, Canelo struggles to make adjustments when he's behind. I guess this is just how he fights now. He does the same thing, and if it doesn't work, he just cruises to a decision loss. If you didn't already before, I think it's time to talk about Crawford as one of the greatest of all time. He's definitely up there with the Sugar Ray Leonards and Marvin Haglers and Rolly Romeros. Look at that shoulder roll. Elite. Brother beat his shadow by split decision. Terence Crawford has nothing left to prove, and if he decides to retire, I legitimately think he has entered himself into the greatest of all time conversation. But if he does decide to keep going, the only 2 fights I really see left for him are Virgil Ortiz and Boots Ennis. And as for Canelo, I really only want to see the monster David Benavidez. I could realistically actually see them both retiring now, but really, who knows? I'm actually genuinely interested to see what you guys think is next for both guys, so be sure to let me know what you think in the comments, and also what you thought about the fight.